cross government, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasing honor to invite to this podium my boss, the Finance and Development Planning Minister, Honorable Augustine Boakai.
The Honorable Glikia, representing the chair of our committee at the House, Ways, Means, Finance and Budget. And I see Honorable Jones here. You are duly recognized. Let me recognize my cabinet colleagues, starting with the arrest. The A in the arrest starts with agriculture, right? So I usually say that he's actually the Dean of Development. Honorable Alexander Nuta, the Honorable Minister of Labor, Honorable Kura, other ministers. Oh, sorry, I didn't see the Minister of Mines and Energy, Honorable Pei. Oh, okay, Honorable Kane. Is there another minister here? Okay. And all the deputy, the head of the General Services Agency whose facilities we are using. It was good that I didn't make that mistake because it gave us NTR in this building. And that all deputies and representing the ministers, deputies for administration, and heads of public operations, heads of agencies and commissions, deputies for administration, controllers, planners, and technicians here. My Deputy Minister for Budget and the team, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, is that the Controller and Accountant General Republic of Liberia? Okay. Honorable Edward Denton. It's a good day, and let me say thanks first to the Ways and Means Committee for coming to join us. This is an evidence of coordination. We know everything empties at the legislature, but in the spirit of coordination, it's good for us to be operating in sync so that you know what is happening. We intend to continue on the path we started last year. That is to ensure that the budget is passed before the start of the fiscal year. Last year was an historic feat because it was the first time in a long time that we had the budget being passed before the start of the fiscal year. This year, we intend to meet all the timelines. By law, the budget is to be tabled at the legislature not later than the 31st of October. Honorable Gipia and representing the legislature, I need to tell you that we in the executive intend to meet that deadline. Last year, we started late, but we practically met the deadline. Until we had to wait and wait for the big brothers. We waited for almost 2 weeks, but we're done. So this year, we intend to meet the deadline again. Last year started with some difficulties. The first quarter, second quarter, in terms of revenue, underperformed projection. But we doubled up, and by the end of the year, we surpassed the projection. The budget ended with a little surplus last year, 2024. And for that, let me congratulate all my sundry, including the Commissioner General of the Liberia Revenue Authority and his team, and all others in the executive, the legislature, that efforted to make sure that we raise the revenue projected and even surpass it a little. So last year, we had a budget surplus. And that last year too, in terms of domestic revenue, we raised nearly 700 million. I think it was about upwards of 698 something to that. That was the highest ever in domestic revenue rate in this country. So last year was historic. The budget last year was 738 million. This year is 880.7. And you talk about meeting the $1 billion target. I think we are knocking on heaven's door now. But let me be clear that even if we met the $1 billion target, issues of scarcity will remain. The entities will still complain they have not been adequately budgeted for. But their complaint is positive because it represents ambition. People want to grow. They want to jump. You want the ice, you want to go to the troposphere. In the troposphere, you want to go to the mesosphere. And then you want to go to the sky. It's good for people to have ambitions, to do more. We will try to capacitate your ambition as much as you can. But sometimes it is not a matter of how much, it's a matter of how. The little you have, how well are you using it? So we in budgeting, we look at the efficiency of the spending. So two entities can get similar budgets. One can deliver more than the other based on execution efficiency, based on forward planning. So, and based on the competence of the manpower they have to execute. You know? So, while in this process you'll be making claims for more resources, I also like to be looking at preparation for delivery. We are concerned about delivery. That's why we launched the deep dive conversations a few weeks ago. And I need to say that we're going to continue, but we will focus on the budget. We're going to have some deep dive conversations, key sectors, to understand now as we enter the budget process, the budget implications of some of their programs. And we're going to start with power, we're going to infrastructure and roads and other sectors. Because these sectors are key. They represent the constraints to growth. When we deal with the power challenge in this country, we have dealt with something very critical. One of the main constraints of growth, profitability of business is the high cost of power. So you see us, the President, the Minister of Energy, and every one of us, we are working to actualize our ambition in Liberia's energy compact, to take energy access from the current 33% to not less than 75% in 5 years. I think we have the right personnel. LDC has a very energetic MD and others in the sector. It is our duty to help to capacitate them, that they want to sprint. We shouldn't be the reason why they crawl. And so we will be doing our part, not only with government resources, but mobilizing external financing so that we can meet our energy ambition. The road sector, infrastructure, we are happy that the little we gave, we've seen the outcome. The outcomes are on the road. We drive and see, the new bridge to a farm, to Simple Bridge. We see what you're doing. We see what you're doing on the road from Ganta to Zwegu. Those that went for the Liberia, they brought testimonies of the good development of the road. Some expected to spend 2 nights. They came back in 1 day. So thanks to Mr. Davis and the team, and that the entire road agenda will be hugely supported. You are doing well with little. And as you do well with little, you are justifying more. That's how you impress us. And other sectors, all of you are doing well. I cannot list all the achievements, but by and large, the government is delivering on the ambitions of the people as encapsulated in the National Development Plan. And this year, as we go to next year, we will try. But we need to raise the revenue. We need to raise the revenue. Because if we don't raise the revenue, we cannot give what we don't have. So, we focus heavily to support the domestic resource mobilization strategy as agreed with the Liberia Revenue Authority. Revenue enhancement measures will be supported. We know we've had some challenges, but some entities here, not just on the expenditure side of the budget, there are entities here that meet us from 2 different angles. One side, they are on the expenditure side. The other side, we look to them to finance the others. So some of them, they are very privileged. The honorable people will try to support those revenue enhancement measures that you will be proposing to us. Because by doing so, it's not just an expense, it's an investment. What I want to say to all of us is that we need to stretch ourselves. We are doing well, but we need to do more. Talking with the president, he always tells us that his ambition is to deliver on the promises that he made to the Liberian people. That is to transform this country. He's well on the track. And as I look in the future, I see better days ahead. Better days ahead. The country, your country, is respected globally. The global respect will translate to many dividends. I As you know, we won the non-permanent member seat on the UN Security Council. What does that mean for Liberia? I just want to say, as a finance minister, it will enhance our development diplomacy. Let me stop there. We're getting significant at level ECOWAS. You know, we just earned the right to host the ECOWAS Youth and Sports Development Center. That was in Burkina Faso. Liberia will now be the host. So it's going to bring jobs, it's going to bring foreign exchange, but it tells you that we are on the radar. The president led the team to Washington, D.C., and by and large, was very successful. And that dividends were accrued. Dividends were accrued. Your country has been put on a pedestal of respectability. And we'll keep the country there. Liberia is on the radar for positive reasons. And all of you, heads of entities, will reap the dividends as you meet counterparts internationally. So, we are not where we want to be, but certainly we are not where we are. Yes, sir. So let's continue to work. And we at the level of finance, we do our part. That's why I'm asking my people, our officials, and my staffers at the ministry to be client sensitive. Our job is to enable, not to frustrate. We know when we face turbulence, we need to adjust. We need to do some better tacking. We face some turbulence this year. I brought part of aid from one of our second largest donor, USAID. Out of 29 projects, 28 were canceled. In terms of dollars and cents, upwards of 300 million. People expected the sky to collapse. But we are moving. Because the president is a good pilot. Good pilot. The pilot doesn't say that there will be no turbulence. It says tighten your seatbelt. And good pilots reach destination despite the turbulence. That's why it's happening. And so, it's been a rough start, but as happened last year, based on efforts, we know that at the end of the day, we achieve our targets. Thanks to you. We at the Ministry of Finance, we cannot, as I said, frustrate. We know, based on some measures we take at a macro level, sometimes we put a brake on things that is approved. But sometimes we don't put a brake on things and our people put brakes on things. So where we get information that you're enforcing your own brakes on approved brakes, we will act accordingly, we'll take decisive action. So let the world go forth. And we've gotten some uncomfortable news. So everyone in the system, the delivery change, you take it very seriously. Very seriously. We will not frustrate ministries, agencies, and commissions. We have to enable them. And those in the delivery chain that will work for the delivery of entities, those are the people we incentivize. We're looking at them. We're looking at analysts, in the system that are sensitive to the entities that they have focal responsibilities for. We'll be getting feelers as to how you behave, formal and informal. Formal and informal. And we'll take appropriate action. So please be free, as part of the service charter, we need to hear from our clients. We'll hear from you. We'll make ourselves available. So it's not that reporting anybody. It is making sure that the government delivers. Let's do our job. And our job is nothing else than to do our job. So with this, I want to say thanks for coming. We are happy with the turnout. We were concerned that the theater was too big to host people. And when I came, I saw the turnout so far impressed that more people are coming. And one of the reasons why my people told me, said, don't worry, it's budget, they will come. And they were right on that, they will come, they are here to make the case, and we're here. Because bless us all. Thank you very much.